Warning, this video may be disturbing to watch for some audiences. I slept with my cousin and she doesn't remember. r/confessions. The most disturbing confessions from people. That shows how sad society is. As a coke dealer, I'm worried about the growing trend of drug legalization in this country. Oregon literally just decriminalized all drugs. This is how it started with weed. I used to be a pot dealer. I knew how to make it good, but then the fucking liberals decided to legalize it, and now even the Republicans are starting to be cool with legal weed. Both Trump and Biden flirted with legalization. Okay, so weed's a bust. The legal weed monopolies have driven me out. Fine, but Oregon decriminalizing all drugs? What happens when coke gets legalized too? I've sold drugs all my life and the legal market is a whole nother animal. I get you guys aren't gonna sympathize with a fucking drug dealer, but I had to get this off my chest. As everyone was either crying that Trump lost, or cheering that Biden won, assuming Trump's legal shit fails. All I could think about was the impending sense of dread of the potential for legalizing other drugs. Oregon is going full Portugal. California is half there and soon the nation will follow. I'm gonna be losing my virginity to an escort, because I can't take the pain any longer. I'm 19 and am in so much pain over this virginity thing. I feel so dejected after meeting another girl, and this girl didn't even bother to open my message on Snap where I asked her if she wanted to hang out. I'm in too much pain right now and I can't take it anymore. I don't care if I get in standard. I don't care if I get herpes. I don't care how good the experience goes. I just need to know what sex is like. I'm done with the love shit. I'm paying for pussy the rest of my fucking life. I don't give a fuck. It's better than me being sex and intimacy deprived for the rest of my life. I'm in so much pain right now I can't take it anymore. So there's this girl I've been talking to for a while now, about a year and a half. For the sake of this, I'll call her MM, as one of the most amazing people I've met in my life, but can be clueless sometimes when it comes to how other people feel. She also has been leading me on pretty much since we met, especially when she's between boyfriends. More on that later. When I first met her, she already had a young son from an idiot ex-boyfriend. We go on 3 dates, and then she gets a new job and new boyfriend. She got into a car accident a while back, and I did everything to make sure she was okay. I got into a car accident about a month later, and could barely stand for a week. I hardly got a peep out of her after the date of the crash. Her boyfriend turns out to be an ass, and they break up. I'm stuck picking up the pieces again. She starts leading me on again, and I try to make it as obvious as possible how I feel about her. It goes right over her head. We make plans to just watch some old movies, and she cancels because she got another boyfriend. Keep in mind this was a few days after saying she didn't want to be in a relationship. All the plans she made with me, she cancels and does with her new BF. Last night she was complaining about her job again. Em is an elementary school teacher, and I was still coming over from being drunk. I had a very rough few months and needed a drink badly. I ended up saying something really inappropriate. I already apologized twice, and she's blocked my on Facebook and unfriended me from Snapchat. I know what I said was wrong, and I already apologized, but now she won't talk to me at all. Maybe it's for the best. I've always been there for her, but rarely the other way around. 22. I have completely zero want to have sex anymore and nothing is able to turn me on anymore. I had lots of meaningless sex in high school and freshman year of college through Tinder and Bumble, as well as going out to bars. In fact, I have zero interest in women sexually or romantically anymore. A girl I have known for a long time has been begging for sex, and I turn her down consistently. I'm not sure if I've ruined myself forever, but seriously, meaningless hookups are not worth it and do not provide long-lasting gratification. In the long run, honestly, you ruin yourself. It's been a year since I've felt any sort of feeling of being attracted sexually and or romantically to a woman. Take my advice and don't watch porn and don't have a lot of random sex, guys. To start off, I'm female and my writing skills are not the best, so I apologize. But to get on with the story, me and my cousin snuck out to meet with my ex-boyfriend just to chill and talk. It was around 1:30 am and my ex-BF, let's call him JJ, brought some alcohol, and let's just say we all got kinda carried away and finished the bottle of vodka between the three of us. My cousin drank a little more than me and JJ, so she got drunk faster than me and JJ. She started to make moves on JJ by pulling his boxers and pants down while I was trying to stop her. She also kept calling JJ by her boyfriend's name. I tried to convince her that wasn't her boyfriend and to get off of him, but then she came on to me. She started to kiss and bite my neck, and as I tried to get her off, JJ told me that it was okay and just to go with it, so I did. We all got undressed and started making out on this old mattress we found outside in a abandoned house's backyard. I performed oral on my cousin while JJ took videos and had sex with me. Later on, JJ and my cousin got into it and he started to go down on her while I watched. Oh, and I forgot to mention my cousin was a virgin and she still thinks she is. Anyway, after we had our fun, it was around 4:30 am and JJ sobered up and we are just talking while my cousin was asleep. She later woke up still very intoxicated and wanting to go home. She asked me why she had no clothes on me, and JJ just convinced her she got drunk and stripped and fell asleep, and she started crying and asking me if I'm sure and if she cheated on her boyfriend. I told her no, and JJ calmed her down and convinced her nothing happened. We all walked home and I got my cousin into the shower and put her to bed around 7 am. When we woke up, she asked what happened and I told her she got drunk and scratched up her neck while rolling in gravel, and surprisingly she believed me and has no idea she slept with me or JJ or the fact that she cheated on her boyfriend. And me and JJ made sure to never mention it ever again, and I also got him to delete the videos. And I know what we did was wrong, and I honestly feel terrible, but I could never bring myself to tell her. I know you all will probably judge me, and that's fine. I just needed to get this off my chest. And if it seems a little scrambled, I'm sorry. I was in a rush to type this all out because I'm going skating with my cousin in a few minutes. But if you have anything to say about this, feel free to let me know. Before we get started, let me say that many people identify this as an honest mistake of mine, mainly because they don't know the whole story or they just don't care enough to listen. And anyone I've ever shared this with, they've either yelled at me, called me selfish or a monster, and many other names and things, to the point that a family friend revealed deep secrets about my family and myself my mom never wanted me to know, and I'm fairly certain she did this out of spite and hate for me at this point, or really just not cared at all. I need to get this off my chest, because now I have to live my life knowing I'm a murderer, even though indirect. My grandmother had many health problems as I grew up, to the point that me and my single mother had to live with her, and my childhood was a bit odd as I basically grew up in hospitals and needed to learn how to be an adult at 8 years old. I never realized this isn't normal, and I'm guessing this is where I get my uptight and serious personality now, but that's irrelevant. I know that it was not her fault that she had health problems. She also was extremely emotionally manipulative of us, and she had other issues too which I didn't realize until now. She was unable to get around until 2018. She got a wheelchair, but often got ahead of herself, and my mother told me to immediately tell her when she was getting around in her wheelchair. I did this for a while until a time when I was in an online class. I watched her go into the bathroom to take a shower, and the day before I told my mom that she'd done that, and it was fine. This time I figured it would be fine. Nothing would happen. It wasn't my job anymore, right? If nothing happened before, why would it now? Well, I was wrong. The next thing I know, I heard blood-curdling screams from the bathroom that still haunt my mind today. They're playing on repeat. It doesn't stop. It'll never stop. She fell trying to get in the shower, all because I thought it would be okay. And if it wasn't, it wouldn't have been that bad, right? But I was wrong. She died a horrible death that stretched out over months and months because of me. I feel evil. I feel filthy and disgusting. I feel like a literal piece of trash. And that time of my life haunts me. But should it? Why should I be feeling so bad over something I brought directly on myself? You can say all you want. I know it was my fault. People try to tell me it's not, and I know it is. I've never told them my inner thoughts. The fact that I saw it happened and decided to keep my mouth shut Don't feel bad for me, I don't deserve it. This doesn't deserve recognition, but if somehow I get it, then think what you want. I know I'm a horrible person. I've accepted that, and please don't tell me again. That's it. I just haven't told anyone, and I'm sick of hiding it. I needed it off my chest. I got sexually abused by 3 guys and my parents have no idea. Let me start off by saying this. My mom only knows small details about the first guy. I'm going to say their names because they didn't respect my privacy, so I won't respect this. The first guy is named Marshall. I dated him in 8th grade, and I thought he was this perfect angel. He would open doors for me, he would make sure nobody ever hurt me, and I'm pretty sure he would have thrown his jacket over a puddle for me to walk over. So when I first was in 8th grade, I had a crush on him, but he was dating this girl. I always hoped they'd break up, and lo and behold, they did. Now was my chance. We rode the bus together, and we both confessed our feelings. What was even better is that we got off at the same stop. But then, something changed. I'm 99% sure that girl he dated changed him. He was sex crazed and wanted nothing more than to get into my pants. He forced me to touch his penis, and I repeatedly told him no. This other time we got off the bus stop, and I was actually scared, because none of my friends that got off the same stop were there either. He forced me into the woods, and pinned me against a tree, and was kissing me. He then started to slide his hand down my pants, then that's when I pushed him off of me. I broke it off with him there. Now to guy #2. His name is Chance, and he is an absolute idiot. He forced me to touch his dick during class, and I didn't even like him that much. But he threatened me. If I didn't, he'd spread rumors about me. So I did. He also tried to get me to suck his dick in this separate building called the West Building, where nobody really went. I told him to stop multiple times, but he kept going. I didn't suck him off, and I told him to stay away from me. He only wanted my body, obviously, and not me. I reported him to the counselor and the teacher that was teaching us while I was forced to touch him. I even had witnesses. She said she'll talk with him, and what happened? Nothing. Not a one damn thing happened to him. He only got a slap on the wrist and was scot-free. Now here's the last guy. His name is Matthew. He used to be my best guy friend, but this year he became very different. He was becoming rude and very sexual. On the bus he would touch my thigh and try to touch my breasts. I stopped being friends with him after that. He also had disgusting friends who would take sneak pictures of my butt and breasts. I can't find myself to love anybody anymore. I had a boyfriend who wanted me for me and didn't care about my assets. But then he became extremely toxic and tried to ruin me. I'm not gay either. I just hate boys at the moment. I know not all of them are bad, but most of the guys I've met are horrible. I'm at a different school now, and I'm now 16. Also, some recent info I got from Marshall's ex. He apparently raped his little cousins and forced them to do shit they didn't wanna do. They were 12 at the time, and I believe he was 16 at the time as well. But she had evidence. She sent me screenshots of him saying that to her. He also had a puss fetish and a period fetish. Yeah, I was not down for that. Anyways, I hope Marshall, Chance, and Matthew find a nice place in hell. I ended my parents' marriage by putting a candle in my butt. When I was younger, I came up with one of those challenges you always hear of, but always wonder who comes up with this shit. I called it ass candle. Basically, you'd put a candle in your butt, those long ones used for sconces, or whatever they're called. It had to be the whole way in, and it had to be lit. You would have to push to make it come out further when the flame was too close, and if it fell out before the candle was just about done, you lose. I know, it is absolutely ridiculous, and looking back on it, extremely immature and disgusting. But, how did this lead to my parents getting a divorce? Here's where I'll make the story shorter. I don't know why I felt the need to lengthen the process of the challenge, but I wanted it to make sense, I guess. It turns out my dad had male-on-male pornographic magazines in their bedroom. I know this because that is what my mother assumed led to me doing what I did. I don't think she cared too much about the magazines themselves, because she obviously knew about them. I never saw them personally. They used to have a really good, close relationship, until ass candle became a thing. I ended up burning my butthole pretty badly when I couldn't move the candle or get it out in time. I needed to go to the hospital, and I couldn't for the life of me come up with an excuse as to how this happened, other than the truth. The day immediately following my visit, I overheard my mom yelling at my dad about how I must have seen the magazines and got ideas and motivation from them. But, like I said earlier, I never saw them. I actually very rarely ever went into my parents' bedroom, only ever to sneak around and look for Christmas presents to see what I'd be getting. A few days after their argument, my mom asked me more in depth about why I was putting things in my butt, and I just told her I came up with a stupid challenge for my friends and I don't think she ever believed me, and I doubt she ever will. I was curious about the magazines, though, so I did end up searching for them when I thought my parents weren't home. Searched under the bed, bedside drawers, dresser, no luck. Well, the only place left to check was the closet. I did not end up ever finding the magazines, but I did find what I now know to be a vibrator in the closet. Really terrible timing, but as I was examining it, my mom comes up the stairs and finds me holding the vibrator. She immediately got extremely angry, and then out of nowhere took it from 100 to like 5. I don't remember exactly how that conversation went, but I do know she told me it was a neck massager. That night, another argument between my parents happens. Basically the same stuff. The magazines is turned your son gay is the gist of it. Months went by with, luckily, no more weird things happening to me. No more compromising situations with terrible timing, or anything like that. But my parents continued to have distance growing between them. Fast forward about 1.5 to 2 years, I started hanging out with a kid who just moved onto my block. He quickly became a part of my friend group, and he was really cool, but at this point we were all reaching an age where truth or dare was a thing. I didn't really think much about the previous incidents anymore, and I was probably too young to know that this would make that situation with my parents even worse. But myself and 4 of my friends were in the yard, and our new friend decided we should play truth or dare. Nothing over the top happened, that much I can tell you. They were all pretty normal and UN extreme truths and dares. The worst one was when our new friend dared me to kiss another one of my male friends on the lips. I did it, and guess who saw it from the kitchen window? My mom. Of course. She surprisingly didn't do much after witnessing this. She just made up some BS reason as to why I needed to come inside and my friends had to go home. But after they were gone, oh boy. My dad was home that whole day. When I got inside, she had an absolute meltdown. Probably the worst meltdown I've ever seen anyone in my life have without being violent or breaking things. She told my dad that she couldn't do this anymore and the usual things people say in moments like that. I tried quite a few times to ask her why she was upset. I assumed it was something my dad did because she didn't say anything about what she saw in the yard yet. It was only until the next day that she said anything about that. When she talked to me about it calmly, she told me that I need to stop looking at porn and that if I was going to watch it, it shouldn't be the kind you're looking at. She also told me I can't hang out with my friend anymore because she saw us kissing. I told her it was just truth or dare, but she wasn't having it. The rest of the story is kind of generic, so I'll breeze through it. My parents actually stayed together for quite some time, but they never went back to who they used to be. They were never close again. They borderline hated each other. This all happened when I was in grade school and in the beginning of junior high school. They would finally get a divorce when I was 21 to 22 years old. To this day, I never understood why my mother never accepted any truth or simple explanations as to what happened. I don't know why my dad never defended himself better. Maybe he believed that the stuff he had laying around their bedroom really did turn me gay? I'm not sure. I guess I'd just like to end this by saying that I'm not even gay. But the thought of me being gay caused my parents to get a divorce, and it all started with putting a candle in my butt. Small disclaimer by the way. I absolutely do not find anything wrong with people who are gay, bi, or anything else. This is just how my life went. I personally love everyone regardless. I just wish my mom did too. Thanks for reading this, if anyone even does. Maybe I'll write the longer version someday. If you can believe it, this really was the short one. If you liked the video please consider subscribing. It would really make my day and help the channel. I hope you have a good day.